So, hi, I am KB with Nerdophiles. Great to see
You
you.
too. Hi. I love your screensaver. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I love the show. What a beautiful and rich adaptation that truly takes you back to the first time you fell in love. And obviously, it was just really so gorgeous to see these two young Black people on this journey of figuring themselves out and just having the space to be able to make mistakes.
Oh, thank you for seeing that. You get it.
Yes,
Ah!
yes. So my first question for you, being at the intersection of being Black, being a woman, being a mom, and of course, kind of experiencing love in many forms, from romantic to platonic to even maternal. When crafting a show like this, how did you use kind of the rich layers of your own experiences to really help deepen your characters and make sure to showcase kind of the human experience in such a dynamic and unforgettable way?
First of all, thank you for seeing all of that because it is true. I bring my whole self to everything that I do. Um, it was in the book itself. One of the things that Judy did was that Catherine's parents gave her agency, right, to explore who she was. So the parents were always a part of the novel. And so I also allowed myself in, and I allowed, and then, and through my own portal, remembered a lot of my peers and what this generation of parenting is looking like, while also looking at the generation of the young people that we love and want to see it have a successful future that's filled with love and all of those things and rich relationships. Brought both of those brought those sorry brought them into the conversation as well. So just bringing both sides, who I love, and bringing my lens into it too, it allowed me to bring my whole self into the story. And but I also, if Dawn is a muse for Mara and Justin is a muse, say, for my son,
Mhm.
they're really portals into this generation of all of us. And it's really just it allows me to see everyone, and everyone's rich layers are in this series. Um, I really think probably I should have answered this question really quicker. Can I start over? I'm sorry. Can I start
Right,
over? I just lost my
absolutely.
way, and I don't want this to be. I want this. I'm excited to answer this. So can I stop and can we just start over on that question? Yes. Can we cut and re-roll? Do you mind?
I don't
Okay.
mind.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a
Um,
brain fart, and I don't want that to
we're gonna
be a
cut,
part of my.
and then
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
all right, cool. So let's roll,
Okay.
and you can begin again.
Okay. Can you ask me that again? I'm sorry. I apologize to you. Okay.
No, it's okay. So, Mara, just being at the intersection of being Black, woman, and mom, and of course, experiencing love in many forms from romantic to platonic to maternal, even. When crafting a show like this, how do you use the rich layers of your own experiences to help deepen your characters and to make sure to showcase the human experience in such a dynamic and unforgettable way?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for seeing all of that in me because that is what I've always done in my body of work. I bring my whole self. I bring my whole heart. I bring my whole life experiences. I bring those and who I am musing off of into the series. And my muse for this was my son, my oldest son. He's my firstborn, so it's my first experience going through his experiences. And bringing that into the storytelling was almost cathartic, therapeutic, and and a way for me to say I love you even more to him, but not just to him, but to his generation, to his friends that come over and eat and hang out, and then to his school and to his and then you you spread it out to the whole generation. It's really an opportunity to wrap your arms around this generation and say, hey, you deserve love too. Even though this modern time feels disconnected, feels like the phone is complicating things or not, I don't know. But you deserve your story and your reflection back to who you are. So it's exciting to bring my whole self into a project. I have this term that I use, I tell the truth through fiction. So I actually have a journalism background, and it's just me looking at what's in front of me and sort of reporting on the times. But instead of just giving information, it's an opportunity to make us feel, because I think best storytelling does that. And I think it's time for us to think about how much space we are giving young people to connect. And are they thinking about their own lives in a way of intimacy? And I don't mean just sexual, but real meaningful, building romantic relationship off of friendship. So all of the things that they're doing naturally, but also remembering that it's important to do. We as a society, are we supporting that? And I wanted to remind that to the mothers like myself, the fathers, that we need to make space for them as well.
Oh, I love that. And I'm so glad that you said this project helped heal your heart because I will say, when I was watching it and I told Lovey and Michael this, I started weeping at the end
Oh,
unexpectedly because it's just their journey, was just so beautiful to watch and to go through and to experience. And you want so much for this next generation. It was just so lovely to
thank
see.
you. Every
So,
generation wants that though.
yeah.
They want love, they want healthy experiences, whether they choose to have sex or not. And more
Mhm.
importantly, they want a future after all of that. And maybe it'll be together, but if it's not together, could it be where that when we were in relationship to each other, that I learned something more about myself? And I think that's the only real forever love that can be guaranteed is self-love. And I think the best relationships lead us back to ourselves.
100%, because even if things don't work out, what you experience and the growth that you have from that relationship matters,
It
and you
matters.
take it with you for every new experience.
Exactly, exactly. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. Lovely, lovely. Just thank you so much for taking the time to chat with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it, and I truly cannot wait for audiences to see it.
Oh, thank you so much. Me too.
Yes. Have a
Let love
great
rule.
day.
Yes, thank you.
What a beautiful and rich adaptation that truly takes you back to the first time you fell in love. And it's really just so gorgeous to see these two young Black people on this journey of like
Yes.
figuring themselves out and having the chance to make mistakes,
Yes.
which I love to see.
Yes.
So how did
Absolutely.
stepping into the roles of Keisha and Justin not only help heal your hearts, but in what ways did these characters kind of expand your dreams, or even open up new ones in your life? And I'll start with you, Lovey.
Keisha had a very funny way of making me go back to my teenage self.
Mhm.
And my teenage self wasn't as assertive as her as Keisha or goal oriented. Like she doesn't I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but Keisha did. So to go back to somebody younger and had a lot more assuredness, it was very cool to live in that and to be able to be like, okay, this is a possibility. Like I could be this sure of myself even if I am young, and even because I'm still not like too old, so I'm never really at a point where I could not learn from somebody even if it's someone younger. So it was nice to learn that from Keisha playing her.
Oh, I love that. And what about for you, Michael? How has stepping into the role of Justin helped heal your heart and even expanded your dreams?
That's a great question. I think Justin is such an emotional and such a vulnerable guy. And to be honest, I was a little nervous stepping into him because I'm like, my guys are going to make fun of me for sure for this one. And I think there was something so beautiful about Mara's writing. She wrote, Justin has one foot in confidence and the other foot in insecurity. And it hit me. And I just know growing up how difficult it is, managing the stress of the world, managing the stress of friends and relationships and family members. It's a lot we have to carry. It's a lot we got to carry. And I just think that he gave me my second win in expressing the vulnerability or, the traumatic events that I didn't necessarily handle on my own. And I was able to allow Justin to kind of speak through me in regards to that. And I'm grateful because it really did heal me in a sense. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, and so I have to ask because every episode, is so different to me in a lot of ways, which I actually really, really love. I think that each episode is kind of its own journey. So
Yeah.
for you guys, which episode did you find kind of the most creatively challenging to really step into this season? And I can start with you first again, Levy.
I would say challenging. None were really too challenging, more so than they were. I was really looking forward to seeing how it would play out for Keisha. I was just it was more anticipation and excitement towards it. And for me, that episode would be more on the later end of the show once everything is all said and done with Keisha's whole scandal. Just being able to have to like shift after having been so closed for so long and seeing what it looks like when this girl has just like shed all of this stuff that she's just been living with. So it was nice towards the end and different for me towards the end to have to like be a different version of Keisha because we're all evolving. So you're literally watching her evolve.
Yeah, and it's lovely to see her flourish in that way after
Yeah,
that. You
it
know,
is.
to be able to kind of release that weight.
Yeah, and to
Be
see
able
what
to-
she possibly was like before, what she could have been like before everything happened. And yeah.
That's true. And what about for you, Michael? Which episode for you was the most creatively challenging? Or maybe that you look forward to, like Lovie just said.
Yeah. I think an episode that I look forward to was episode 5, because I think that was when Justin, was first really going through his heartbreak. And I think heartbreak, our first one in specific, it can really shape you as a person. And you see him kind of grow throughout the series, and he finally steps into his own as the episodes progress. And I thought that was really interesting for my character to kind of, take a hold of that power that comes from heartbreak.
Yeah.
Although it's pain, there's always purpose within it. And I think it's beautiful to use that and, keep going forward. And that's what he did.
Well, I love that you guys said that. Listen, I think that art can be so cathartic. And I got to the end and I was weeping because y'all did such a great job on this story. So just thank you both so much
Absolutely.
for taking the time to chat with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it. And we can't wait for audiences to see.
Excited.
Yeah.